My name is Anna Karyakina. I'm my co-founder of this amazing community where we are now co-host and co-facilitator and co-creator of the Erasmus Plus Writing Challenge. And today it is our 10th day already. Imagine 10 days we've been with you, talking through each aspect of your projects, which you're going to apply very soon. I would like to remind that we are doing here KA1 projects. We're working on them, and day by day we go through different important project aspects and topics, and try to give you a bit more information, answer your questions in the comments, and give you a lot of materials, and also doing face-to-face consultancy in Zoom. I would like to say that today we have a topic of which is quite important. It's about project outcomes and their dissemination. So many people call it very differently: dissemination, visibility, exploitation, multiplying. What else there was? Through ages, through programs, it was called a bit differently, but it's all about the same thing. It's about your outcomes, about the results, and how you manage them. Okay, so there are two types of projects: tangible and intangible. Yeah, and tangible is everything what you can measure, what you can monitor, what you can control, what you can touch. And in Erasmus Plus KA1 projects, it can be anything which you produce or anything you measure during your project. Maybe you've done some toolkits or manuals or reports, published books, magazines, did a number of workshops. You can count days of your trainings or youth exchanges. You can count press clippings, maybe articles, blogs, materials, and so on, maybe websites. Maybe you produced some marketing materials which you distributed among the participants and during your events. And intangible is something which you can't touch, yeah? So it has no physical existence. It's very perceptive. It has some soft benefits. So, for example, you can measure participant satisfaction. Yeah? You can measure the soft skills development. You can talk about the competences of the learning competences they reached by the end of your activity. You can talk about possible networking and partnerships they created. You can measure improved motivation. You can think about the reputation of organizations, how they raised it during your activity. You can even think about the brand awareness or personal brand awareness. And all these intangible results can also be added to any project you will do. I hope that tangible, intangible is more or less understandable what it is. And in your application form, when you're writing about results, you should be as more detailed, as more clear as possible. Of course, you have to be realistic with your predictable planned results, yeah, because some of them can be predicted, some cannot. So, but you still have to have some picture in mind what results you're going to have and how you're going to measure them. The more information about this you will give, the better, yeah. And why is it also important? Can you imagine how many projects you can make with the amount of money, 27 billion, yeah, at the moment of Erasmus plus budgets of the whole program during the 7 years. Can you imagine how many people, how much time, how much efforts everyone puts in all these events in all these projects, and how many amazing outcomes coming out of them. Some of them tangible, some intangible, but still each project, KA1 or KA2, it doesn't matter, it has amazing outcomes, results, and so on. And it is very, very sad to see that many projects actually never use the produced results after the events. So that's why in the program, every year we put more and more focus on the distribution of the results, on the dissemination, on the multiplying of your efforts. And I like very much one saying or one phrase that you have your desk, yeah, and you got your results of the project, and you put them in the lower bottom drawer, and you forget about it. You will never go back to it. You will never take it out. You will never show it to anyone. And that's what you shouldn't do. And that's what European projects and any projects you shouldn't have at the end. So when you're writing your projects, you should dedicate at least 15–20% for the thinking about possible outcomes and how you're going to disseminate them. Yeah. So if you have, for example, created some video of your youth exchange, it would be great to tell about it, to show it on your info days, on the, I don't know, YouTube channels, in the groups of on the Facebook, yeah, inside your organization, so participants can share it as well. In the training courses and the mobilities for youth workers, very often there is something created like a manual or some toolkit or some methodology, and this this can be used in the organizations, or this can be taught in the organizations for your colleagues to be used. This can be uploaded to Salto platform because there you can add your methods and your toolkits and so on according to the topic. Also, you can find there many amazing things and use them, because there were already many projects which created something very valuable and useful for you. Yes, and I would like to suggest you to find one amazing book, toolkit, a manual created by Salto many years ago, more than 10 years ago, but actually it doesn't matter because it's still very, it still has the same information, and it still has a point. But there are different forms of making waves. Yeah, this toolkit is called Making Waves, and this is exactly what we do. We are making waves with our work. So find this Making Waves, and what they're saying, there are many different forms of making waves in your youth projects. Yeah, and this you can do by showing it. Yeah, visibility of the projects. You can do promotion, you can raise your profile, you can do amazing marketing, image, brand building, you can talk about it in the media, you can, well, you not only can, but you should add and must add all the logos and official links and some quotes from the Erasmus Plus program. You have to ask about these when you sign your agreement with the national agency. Yeah, we will provide you with the kit, with the folder of the logos and colors and fonts which you obliged to use. Another thing is the dissemination of the results, yeah, so how you can spread them. So also you can be very creative, or you can use the mailing lists and presentations and launches of products and events and so on. Another thing is exploitation of results. This is to make sure that every result is used and not forgotten, yeah. And this is a bit more difficult maybe, but you can adapt them in your work, you can share your experience, you can go on conferences and train others, you can improve systems and procedures in your organizations and so on. By multiplying, they mean to take the results you will get, yeah, and make something out of them even bigger. For example, yeah, we had a partnership building activity in Georgia 2 years ago, and that's where the youth academy idea was born. And so this was the multiplying effect, yeah. So we had, by the end of the partnership building activity, some idea, and we didn't put it in the bottom drawer, but we took it and started to work on it, and it brought something even bigger than it was in the beginning, just the idea. So multiplying also involves follow-up activities. So inside the project or after your project finishes, it doesn't matter. And follow-up activities can also be in your organizations or out of your organizations, wider on the regional, national, international, European, and so on levels. And also for the maybe key action one, mobilities for youth workers, the mainstreaming is an interesting thing. When you can use the results and experiences and bring them to the youth policy makers, you can write recommendations on the national, regional, and so on levels. You can lobby your results on different levels. You can try to change systems which you're not happy with, and so on. Anyway, all this is about increasing the impact of youth projects. So about impact, we're going to talk tomorrow, because it's quite important and very large topic as well. But all these steps and all these different actions with your outcomes, which you will get, will lead you eventually to the larger impact, which we all actually working for. I think so.